Well, Smiles from Black Women TV talking to Geffri Maya regarding her role in All American Homecoming. It's coming up, so you're the lead, so I know we spoke before, but let's do it for a whole different audience. When you were on All American, the first one, how long did you know that they were going to make a series with you as the center?
Oh, I didn't know anything at all. I mean, I went into All American just as, a regular guest star recurring. So the most episodes were possibly 5, but I was definitely set for 3. So in that moment, it was just, another opportunity to add to my resume, to continue to build and to continue to go forward with my career. And I was excited because at the time, All American was a huge success. It had just got its second season, and it was on the radar because it went from almost being canceled to being this hit show for the CW. So it was a huge deal to even be a part, no matter how big the role was. So I was just grateful. And then when it kind of turned into this, it's just it's something that I couldn't have imagined, but that's typically how I feel like blessings and abundance works. It kind of just happens, and when the door opens, you better be ready to walk through. And I was just ready to walk through when the opportunity presented itself. So I'm very grateful.
And as an actor, everybody goes through pilots and, like you mentioned, you're grateful that you're recurring, you got a couple episodes, but then when you're all of a sudden thrust into this leading role, were you ready for the challenge of having a script where you're on more pages than you were before and you got to up your skill set?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's something that every actor prepares for. I was a child actor, so I've been wanting this type of opportunity, this type of influence, and this type of just connection to the craft long term for a long time. So again, it's kind of like that door. When the door is open, you have to be ready. I wouldn't be truthful if I was saying that I just happened to stumble upon this drive to want to be in this position. But it's no, I've been preparing for this my whole life, and I'm just so grateful it was the opportunity that it was, because it's so fitting. It's very full circle for me. And I think it's for a bigger purpose. It's for these kids, to inspire them and to motivate them to want to further their education, but also celebrate the history and culture and legacy of HBCUs and HBCU life, and the people that came before them that opened these doors for them.
Now, you're playing the role of Simone, obviously coming in from All American. Does one need to watch the previous show in order to know where your character is at? And if so, at what point do they need to start watching?
I mean, I'm just going to say I think people should start from the very top, only because I want this to be a world and a space where they support both shows. I don't want it to be like they have to choose which one they like better. It's not that type of thing. I mean, the galaxy is very big and we're all stars that can shine in it. So it's why not support both shows? We don't have many shows that celebrate Black culture authentically, that are on the forefront, especially on certain type of networks that don't necessarily have a plethora of Black content. So it's why not? We have so much time. The pandemic has really taken us out of the element of spending physical personal time, and all we have is our TV screens. So it's just get into both of them. But in particular, if you want to be introduced to Simone, then you'll catch me at the top of season 2, episode 5. But I still think it's why not just be on the journey for both and fall in love with both shows and keep the universe going and growing? That's ultimately what our showrunner's intention was in the first place. So why not just start at the top?
And where are we with Simone? If you haven't watched All American, coming into All American Homecoming, because that's how it is with some of the shows that maybe some people watch. Like, if
Right.
you don't necessarily need to watch Blackish to get into Grownish, and so forth.
Right, exactly.
So where are we with Simone? Last I remember, I'm sure people are going to be Googling Wikipedia and stuff. Was she had a kid, but now she's in college. Where's the kid? What's up with the relationship? She's got a new man and so forth. So where are we going into episode 1, season 1 with Simone of All American Homecoming?
I think that where we are is kind of at the brink of deciding how to start a new life while still having to navigate her old one. So yes, she does have her boyfriend Jordan that has been on this rocky road with her, throughout their friendship, throughout their relationship. She does have this son that she's given up for adoption, but has chosen to be in his life. So she has to, still be spiritually, still be a mother and still be present for that. And she still has this goal of tennis and wanting to be better and stronger than she was the last time she played, which was in her early teens, her early adolescence. So it's kind of like we're just on the brink of her discovering how to maneuver her old life and her new one. So again, we're still on the journey with her, but we're being reintroduced to her without the all-American connections in the forefront, because now her connections, her new foundation, her new world is at the forefront, and that's kind of what we're walking into.
Now, besides you being the center of why the show's starting, you're getting a lot of characters. You're also getting the center of what's like going to, an HCBU, or it's
HBCU.
yeah, you get what I'm saying, I got a bank account, so it's always hard to say.
Look, no, I understand.
And so, you're getting a lot of storylines in there. And what's the crux of what we're going to get regarding HBCU and regarding to the storylines? Are we going to get African and Black experience themes, or we're going to get themes in general that anybody who's in college can relate with?
Yeah, I think, just the Black history in itself is so vast. And I also think that Black culture is so vast. Like, no Black person has the same experience. Bringston is a fictional university and institution. So I think the beautiful thing that we're trying to do is that we're taking bits and pieces of experiences that we know we can tie into these stories, but trying to create a world that can continue to encourage these kids to either be interested in going to an HBCU, continue to encourage alumni or people who have not been exposed to HBCU culture to be involved and give back. But we're also trying to just support stories that tell real existence. Like, an HBCU was not just, a piece in this script. Like, it's an actual real place with real people who have made real contributions. So I think just overall, that's the whole point. Because I know that people have expectations. Black people always got expectations. So I know that they're expecting so much. But again, the HBCU experience, the Black experience, it's not linear. So I just hope that people remain open to the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is there is a television show on a predominantly white network centered around historically Black colleges and universities with a Black female lead playing tennis, a sport that is not afforded to many because it's an expensive sport, and same with baseball, a Black female lead playing a sport that is not necessarily afforded to Black people. So I think if we just focus on the bigger picture, then I think that people will be able to confidently support. And I think that one thing I love about All American is that the writers and producers, they listen to the fans. They see what they want to see. They hear them out on certain things. And, people, our viewers, have a voice. And that's what continues to, create these stories and encourage storytelling, truthful storytelling. So I just want people to remain open to what it is that we're doing and understand that we are targeting a huge community and a huge culture. So we're doing the best that we can to bring bits and pieces that hopefully they can relate to and say, you know what? I rock with the show because it made me feel good or reminded me of something, or it was nostalgic, or, just the bigger picture.
So speaking about tennis, how's your tennis game? Is that you? Did you practice? Is that a CGI stunt double? Like,
I'm screaming. It's definitely giving. I have been training in the sport since I found out the pilot was even going to happen, because I just did not want to go into this like not immersing myself in the sport, because I just wanted to respect and honor the sport, especially the Black female athletes that are killing the game, from Venus and Serena Williams to Coco Gauff to Naomi Osaka to Sloane Stephens to, all of these amazing tennis players, female tennis players, to name a few. But yeah, I just wanted to learn. And once you learn and once you discover like what the sport actually means beyond just hitting the ball, it's a whole new world. And I do have a double, absolutely, because I'm not a professional, but majority of, what's being shown, especially when you can actually see me, is me playing. And, I trained for that. I did my due diligence, and I'm continuously going to continue to navigate the sport, because, you know, only with time you get better, you get stronger, you know.
Then there's your co-workers, your castmates, and so forth. How was it working with them, getting to know each other, especially throughout this time, throughout this pandemic, where
Absolutely.
you have to be isolated, but at the same time you're trying to reach this goal of making the show work, and that goes with the chemistry that we, the audience, has to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's a beautiful experience to just naturally connect with people. I literally just had a conversation and I was talking about just the industry and how, you know, I don't force anything with this. I don't force roles. I don't force opportunities. I don't force doors open that God has completely shut. And I don't force relationships with people, because you don't get anything positive out of a force, you know? And I've just been so blessed thus far in my career to really meet amazing people, amazingly talented people. And that just reflects in the work that we're doing. And I just feel this way about the Homecoming cast. It's like everyone is just so talented, so lovely, and just so dedicated to wanting this show to be the best that it can be, that everyone's just bringing their best foot forward. And that just so happens to all of us just having genuine relationships, genuine friendships outside of work, because we spend so much time together, 14, 15-hour days together. So the least we can do is enjoy the people that we work with. And by the grace of God, I do. And I'm so happy. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. And I know that they are too, because again, you can just see it.
Now, from the episodes you've shot already, what have you learned or have you grown as an actress? Obviously, it's one thing when you're on All America, you come in, you do your sides, your scenes, but now you've been thrust in the lead role. A lot of the scenes we're going to see is mostly you, even though there's others. But throughout that, how have you grown from the different people you've worked with what you've had to carry so far?
Hmm. I think I've grown in a sense of how I tackle the opportunities, you know, how I receive the blessings, how I bask in my gratitude. And I think that all plays a part in how it's executed when it's time to shine. And I'm just grateful for that, because, again, I've been doing this for a long time, at least a long time for myself. I've been doing it for a while, and I just want to continue to get better and to get stronger, and just continue to tackle these stories with honesty, truth, and hopefully the work that I do continues to make people happy and continues to be relatable. And yeah, it's just that I just hope to constantly elevate in a way where I can always be felt with what I do.
When you're not working and you're not working on this, what do you do to stay humble to make sure that when you go home, you can be yourself and not worry about what's going to be on social media? Because when it comes out next Monday, don't go on the media. Either they're going to say great things, bad things, and be like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I can't help what people think. All I know is I did my best. But I mean, I think that, you know, the good and the bad, it's what makes the world go round. We couldn't have everything perfect, you know, and we couldn't have everything terrible. So I mean, I think that however it resonates with people, their truth is just as valid, you know, at the end of the day. But I know why I do what I do, and it ain't gonna stop the fact that it come on every Monday. So, you know, it is what it is. But I keep myself humble by just doing things that make me happy. You know, I love museums, I love art, I love food, I love my friends, I love my family, I love traveling. Like, I'm a normal person. I just have a job that publicly like showcases me more than your average person. But I still love like everyday things, and I try to stay in that. When I'm not working, I'm not working. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm having a day to myself, I'm literally having a day to myself. But I think what also keeps me humble is just remembering where I came from. You know, I did not come from money at all. I grew up in South Central LA, in a single parent household. Much love and respect for my grandmother as well. You know, so I remember the nights. I remember what it means to push and to fight. I remember those conversations with my mother that I can be anything that I want to be. Like, you just play stuff like that in your mind, and then when you have people looking up to you and wanting to be in your shoes, it's just like you got to move different when you have that type of power and influence. And I'm not saying that mine is that astronomical, but I am saying that I'm blessed to have it to a degree. So I always keep that in the forefront, because at any moment it can be taken away from me, you know. And that's just that's how life works. There's a beginning and an end, and while I'm in it, I'm just gonna enjoy it and be the best person that I can be.
And one last question, Mickey. You can make it very quick. as a college student, character-wise, do you have a choice as far as the outfits you're wearing? Because people are going to want to see how this person as a freshman dresses up.
Absolutely. I think that's so funny that you asked that because, you know, from All-American to now, Simone was young. So now we get a chance to kind of see her experiment. And I remember when I was in school, I was wearing stuff that like I thought was so cute. And I look at pictures now and I'm like, girl, you are not giving us anything. So I think it's fun to kind of see like, who is Simone now? What does she do? What does she like? Like, what is she interested in? How is she learning her body and how to move and, you know, how to dress? Like, it's fun, but it's all a part of the cycle of life. Like, you discover stuff, you keep stuff, you throw some stuff away. So like, I think it's going to be fun to kind of see her fashion journey. But one thing I can promise you is that the hair journey will definitely remain on point.
Well, with that said, Geffri, it's good talking to you. Obviously, we got a good start, you know, knowing how All-American's still going. We can tell that this show is going to continue to go. We're going to continue to talk season 2, 3, 4, keep your thing going. And wherever you're at, stay safe, take care of yourself, and have yourself a great day.
Thank you, Wilson. Nice talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bye.